the monotonous rhythm of my daily grind, I was just another cog in the colossal machine of the factory. My body moved on autopilot, transporting materials from one spot to another. The factory was a behemoth, its walls adorned with paintings of Earth, massive cables snaking across them. The building buzzed with activity, elevators moving up and down, vehicles driving around, workers in uniform bustling about, their faces a blur. But amidst this sea of sameness, there were the others, towering creatures, standing on two legs, their bodies eerily smooth, arms dangling near the ground. Their faces were devoid of features, save for soulless eyes and unnaturally large mouths. Each wore a large watch on their arm, a symbol of something I couldn't quite grasp. One day, as I mindlessly carried a box, I felt a sharp pain in my leg. It was more of a surprise than a hurt. I looked down to see a small device sticking out of my leg. As I pulled it out, my gaze met with a woman's ice-blue eyes. There was a flicker of recognition, a momentary freeze, and then she turned away, disappearing into the crowd. That brief encounter jolted something in me. Suddenly one of the creatures approached, its mouth gaping as it bellowed incomprehensibly. It pressed something on its watch, and a shockwave coursed through my body, dropping me to my knees. The creature pointed aggressively, and I understood. I had to keep working. Picking up the box, I continued my task, but something had changed. Thoughts began to flood my mind, questions about who I was, where I was, and most importantly, who was that woman with the ice-blue eyes? Later, I was ushered onto a cargo truck with others, all silent, all seemingly lost in their own worlds. The truck stopped, and we were herded onto a large platform. As it ascended, I noticed the cold biting at my skin, a sensation I hadn't felt in what seemed like forever. Then I saw her again, the woman with the ice-blue eyes. She moved stealthily among us, injecting something into each person's leg. One by one, expressions of confusion and awareness replaced the vacant stares. The platform reached its destination, and the doors opened to reveal a harsh, snowy landscape. A massive, buffalo-like creature stood guard, flanked by the others. Suddenly, the woman shouted, "Now!" Lasers rained down, chaos erupted, and people scrambled for weapons. The woman locked eyes with me, her gaze intense. "It's time to wake up, Adam," she said, and kissed me. A warmth spread through my body, a stark contrast to the freezing air. "Adam, it's time to wake up," she repeated, her voice a soothing melody amidst the pandemonium. She smiled, a look of relief and affection in her eyes. "I never stopped looking for you." With a newfound vigor, I joined the fray, firing at the creatures as alarms blared. We fought our way to the giant buffalo creature, which the woman seemed to command. Climbing onto its back, we charged into the snowy desert, the underground facility disappearing behind us. As we rode, memories flooded back. The woman was Janet, someone dear to me, lost in the haze of my mindless existence. Tears streamed down my face as the realization hit me. Janet, my beacon in this strange, cold world. The warmth in my heart grew, a stark contrast to the icy winds lashing at us. We were escaping, heading towards an unknown future, but for the first time in what felt like an eternity, I felt alive. The warmth of Janet's presence, the adrenaline of the escape, and the resurgence of my memories blended into a cocktail of exhilarating confusion and hope. As the snowy landscape whizzed by, I clung to Janet, the only certainty in a world that had just turned upside down. The journey ahead was uncertain, the destination unknown, but the resolve in Janet's eyes gave me strength. The giant buffalo creature, a majestic and powerful beast, carried us swiftly across the snowy expanse, its breath visible in the cold air, creating a rhythmic pattern that seemed to sync with the beating of our hearts. The factory, with its endless corridors, towering machines, and the soulless eyes of the others, felt like a distant nightmare. Yet the questions lingered. What was that place? Why were we there? And most importantly, what had we become?